So, as I said, I want to say hello and welcome everyone, and thank you for being here for the first part of our first annual State of Lemay address. We are very pleased and very excited to be able to present this valuable information to you, so that you have the opportunity to understand our community's past and present in an effort to move forward together with strategic goals and concrete plans to attain those goals. Today's agenda, we will cover a lot of information in a very short period of time. First, we will present a short history of Lemay. Then we will move on to our nonprofit spotlight, where each nonprofit will have a chance to tell about their organization, how they're having an impact on Lemay, and what each of us can do to help them make Lemay a better place. Today we'll hear from the Lemay Chamber of Commerce, the Lemay Development Corporation, the Lemay Housing Partnership, Lemay Child and Family Center, Feed My People, the South County Senior Center, and the Community Action Agency for St. Louis County. First off, I'd like to start off with a quote from the famous English writer Anthony Burgess. "It's always good to remember where you come from and celebrate it. To remember where you come from is part of where you're going." So our first part here is early settlers, the history of Lemay. In 1704, Jesuit fathers from Montreal established a mission in the vicinity of River de Pere and the Mississippi River, where you would now find River City Casino. Soon after the mission was established, about 20 French families settled here, which would make Lemay the oldest white community in the state of Missouri. By 1770, residents were using the land as part of a common field, harvesting timber for use as fuel, fencing, and for sale in local markets. Use of the commons hampered private settlement and development in the area, and land titles were disputed well into the 19th century. By July 1826, the first military troops, 6 officers, and 245 enlisted men arrived at a new post in Lemay and started building temporary quarters. In 1827, the military post was formally named Jefferson Barracks in honor of Thomas Jefferson, who had died the year before. For many years, Francois Lemay operated the toll ferry across the Merrimack River at Kings Highway. And in 1839, a state road was constructed over the original route, and because of a misspelling or possibly a mispronunciation of the name Lemay, the road became known as Lemay Ferry Road. Lemay's identity as a community, separate from Grand Isle, began to materialize between the Civil War and the Great Depression. Settlement progressed in the final decades of the 19th century by the resolution of land disputes and from a surge of immigrants from St. Louis and Europe, especially the Germanic areas. The immigrants established several small communities in the area now known as Lemay, such as Luxembourg, Ivory, Bismarck Heights, Longwood, and Beaugreenville. By 1880, the present-day 100 to 200 block of Lemay Ferry Road was a thriving commercial district, close to the rivers and surrounded by thriving farming communities. Where Heiny Miney is now, you would have found the first steam-powered grain mill, with a leather tannery, candle maker, and blacksmith shops just across the street. Growth and industry. Development continued between 1880 and 1920 with the start of industrial development such as the National Brick and Quarry Company and Stubb Brothers Bridge and Iron Company, new streetcar service to St. Louis, the formation of various civic improvement associations, the creation of volunteer fire departments, the opening of a local bank, and the establishment of local schools and churches. As far as it is known, the first time Lemay was used as a place name was when the St. Louis and San Francisco Railroad built the Lemay Station, completed in 1909. As late as 1930, Luxembourg, Dewey Heights, Longwood, and Point Breeze were still primarily used for local identification. It was in that year that the neighborhood Link News was established with the purpose of linking these scattered neighborhoods and others into one community. However, it was not until 1936, with the opening of the Lemay branch of the U.S. Post Department, that Lemay was officially applied in the entire area south of River de Pere to the Merrimack River and west of the Mississippi River to Gravois Road. Following World War II, Lemay benefited greatly by the baby boom and the out-migration from the city. With its close proximity to the city, many families found it an inviting suburb. While about 45% of the homes in Lemay today were built prior to 1940, in just under 20 years, another 35% cropped up. The growing residential rate and affordability of property in Lemay made it attractive to new businesses as well. The Great Flood, as we are all aware of. The Great Flood of 1993, among the most costly and devastating to ever occur in the United States, with $15 billion in damages, was devastating to Lemay. The area that is now Lemay Park used to be filled with over 150 homes and businesses that were destroyed in the flood. Many businesses lost everything and were unable to relocate. Former chamber executive and continued friend of Lemay, Barb Haymeyer, remembers the great flood as a blessing in disguise, because Lemay stakeholders realized right then and there, if Lemay was going to get help, we were going to have to do it ourselves. But what could possibly help Lemay regain the vitality it had in its heyday? Well, the Lemay Development Corporation had consistently advocated for the development of the 80-acre National Lead site, which had been vacant for almost 30 years. The St. Louis County Port Authority, who owned the site, released requests for proposals for alternate developments after the Ameristar Casino project failed. LDC, the Lemay Development Corporation, had been researching many different types of uses for the site, including an RV campground. But none were feasible due to the overwhelming cost of cleaning up the contaminated site. Denny Long, co-owner of Sam's Steakhouse, jumped on a flight to Las Vegas to try to save Lemay. He met with Dan Lee, CEO of Pinnacle Entertainment, and the rest, as they say, is history. Handshakes turned into urgent planning, and the LDC committed considerable resources to assist in securing public support and governmental approval for the project. The LDC published newsletters that were mailed to all residents in the 63125 zip code, informing them of the details of the development and its benefit to the community. They mailed postcards to area residents informing them about public meetings and hearings, provided transportation when needed, printed and distributed signs that were displayed at those meetings, and arranged for speakers at all local, county, and state hearings. It took 2 acts of Congress, countless hearings, and significant investment, but Lemay would get its chance, its casino. Lemay leaders couldn't be happier. They had been plotting and planning to make something happen in the community for 30 years. Everyone agreed that Lemay was and continues to be the big winner. A highly contaminated site has been cleansed, and the elevation has been raised to some 16 feet above the floodplain. Pinnacle Entertainment constructed a $380 million multi-use complex that includes a 90,000 square foot gaming floor and multiple restaurants. In the spring of 2012, Pinnacle Entertainment broke ground on an $82 million expansion that will open in 2013, including a 200-room hotel, a 10,000 square foot event center, and the already completed 1,700 space parking structure. And just how does a casino benefit Lemay? For starters, the investment of hundreds of millions of dollars in capital improvements by a single entity is noteworthy all by itself. Pinnacle transformed a toxic, polluted industrial site into a beautiful architectural tribute to the heritage of St. Louis. They brought 1,200 permanent, good-paying jobs to Lemay. The tax revenue projection for Lemay is $25.5 million, including lease payments of a minimum of $4 million per year. As a result of the advocating and negotiating by the Lemay Chamber of Commerce, the Lemay Development Corporation, Lemay Charting for Change, and many, many others, 75% of that $4 million per year through 2015 will be directly invested back into the Lemay community through the Community Reinvestment Act. Additionally, River City Casino allocated funds to be used for a Lemay Community and Aquatic Center that is currently being designed and is set to open in 2014. The Community and Reinvestment Fund has awarded grants to the following entities to date. And as you can see, there are a significant amount of people who have benefited from the Reinvestment Act. And while we don't have time to hear from everybody today, we would like to focus on a few of the special nonprofits that are helping make Lemay a better area. Since Lemay is an unincorporated part of St. Louis County, we don't have a local government, a mayor, a city hall, or aldermen advocating for us to making sure that our needs are met. So we rely on our local nonprofit organizations to make sure things get done in Lemay. At the Lemay Chamber of Commerce, we consider these entities to be true heart of Lemay. They are the ones with the boots on the ground, making Lemay a better place every day. They are fighting for economic development, making sure the elderly and the poor have safe homes to live in, tearing down dilapidated buildings and replacing them with new houses that young families can afford and be proud to call their own, providing top quality child care and education for families who otherwise may not be able to afford them on their own. ensuring that every person in Lemay has a nutritious meal, even if they are down on their luck, providing job counseling to those who have lost their jobs or seek better jobs, helping to keep our seniors happy, healthy, and in their homes, delivering hot meals and warm smiles to those who are homebound, and so much more. So without further ado, I will let each of them tell you about their services, about the impact they have on our community, and how we can help each of them achieve their goals. So representing the Lemay Chamber of Commerce, our Secretary, Steve Wyman, with Kenrick's Meats and Catering. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Excellent job. Here's your water. I know you forget that up here. I'm here to talk about the Lemay Chamber of Commerce. The Lemay Chamber of Commerce was started in 1975. We are a community organization made up of primarily businesses, but also schools, churches, elected officials, government agencies, residents, and other community organizations. Our mission is to collaborate with community partners and advance the business interests of members to foster a healthy economic environment for the greater Lemay community. In other words, we work hard to make Lemay a better place to live, learn, work, and play. Since 2009, we have grown from 200 members to over 250 members. We continue to grow because we provide exceptional service to our members, opportunities for them to make connections, tools, and support to help them meet their business goals. We work together with community organizations, elected officials, and government entities to advocate for and strengthen our community. Last year, we completed a strategic planning that will help us effectively plan our next few years. As a result of that planning, we will provide even more benefits and opportunities to our members, including additional opportunities for our members to market their services, network, and build relations. The new Lemay Chamber of Commerce University, an educational series for our members and for their employees. More focused advocacy efforts to help Lemay move forward. Information that keeps our members connected to our community, like this State of Lemay address, and much more. I'd like to explain these focus areas a little more in depth: membership and benefits, advocacy, and community impact. Our members enjoy many benefits and opportunities that help them make connections and build their businesses. As a business person, you cannot ignore the importance of networking. The contacts you make are absolutely essential to your success. We provide many opportunities to connect with others. Monthly luncheon meetings like this, from September through July, where you have the opportunity to network with other business professionals. Networking events hosted by our chamber members. Online directory listings with a link to your website on www.lemaychamber.com. Electronic mailing list for your business marketing use. Ribbon cutting and grand openings for new businesses. Member business referrals. The River City Casino Golf Tournament, which this year will be held at Quail Creek Course on May 15th. Sponsorship opportunities at chamber luncheons, networking events, and special events. Our annual trivia night, which is coming on April 26th at Reinhold Electric. Marketing opportunities through newsletter ads, inserts, or attachments. Email marketing of your events and special offers. Our Fall Flavor Festival, set for November 8th this year, which will be held in partnership with the Hancock Place School District and benefits both the chamber and the schools. News and event emails to keep you up to date and connected to your community. A monthly newsletter to help you stay connected with your community. Relevant, timely luncheon programs and speakers to help you stay connected to your community and grow your business. Opportunities to be the business of the month on our website and in our newsletter. Our next area is advocacy. But member services is just a part of what we do here, and behind the scenes, we work tirelessly to ensure that Lemay gets its fair share, both now and in the future. We are liaisons with county and state government entities. We are also liaisons with the county and state elected officials. business and economic development with community partners. We ensure government entities maintain accountability for Lemay Comprehensive Plan and Community Reinvestment Fund through 2015. We advocate for funds for Lemay after the current commitment expires in 2015. On to community impact. We want to have a positive impact on our community. So we are part of the Lemay Branding Initiative, and we will bring the annual legislative updates with state representatives and state senator. Our annual awards dinner to honor individuals, businesses, and organizations for their outstanding services to Lemay. Outstanding Educator Recognition Awards, which will be on April 16th this year, where we honor one outstanding teacher from each of our 11 schools in Lemay. Leadership scholarships that are given to one student from each high school in Lemay. JD Blast, our community's 4th of July celebration. Nonprofit Roundtable, which we host in order to bring Lemay nonprofits together towards our common goal, building a better Lemay. How can you help? We collect annual dues and hold fundraisers so that we can provide these services to our members and to the greater Lemay community. There are many ways that you can support our efforts. If you're not a member, join. If you are a member, pay your dues. About 27% of our income comes from dues. Sponsor an event or attend a fundraiser. About 56% of our income comes from the fundraisers. Volunteer with the ambassadors group. Serve on a planning committee. Tell a friend. If you have any questions, please feel free to speak with any one of our board members or ambassadors that are here today. And of course, you can always count on Angela. She's here at any time and she's at the office, so please don't hesitate to contact her either. Thank you for listening and thank you for your support of the Lemay Chamber of Commerce.
Little miscommunication there, I apologize. Next on our agenda, we have the Lemay Development Corporation. Jason Carbone, thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Hello, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason Carbone. Can you hear me? Is this close enough? Okay. I'm the Executive Director of the Lemay Development Corporation. And earlier, there. Oh. So, earlier, Justin talked a little bit about the LDC and our history in the community. But to give you a little more background, we were founded in 1982, originally as a quote, kind of independent arm of the Lemay Chamber of Commerce. We have always been, from our founding, a separate 501c3 not-for-profit, and the goal was to do some development in the Lemay community. Do some of the stuff that a 501c3 could do that the Chamber couldn't do on its own. In the past, we have experience around real estate development, been involved in job training programs, after-school programming, community organizing and building, and, as Justin mentioned, community advocacy. In 2012, we kind of decided that we need to take a new approach and we need to reassess where we were. So we started a strategic planning process and realized we need to get a little more specific in the activities that we were doing. So we realized that it was better to do a few things really, really well than do all these things pretty well. So we shifted our focus towards action and implementation from a little less on advocacy and more towards doing. And we reshaped our mission so that moving forward, our mission is the preservation and advancement of the Lemay community by acting as a primary catalyst in implementation of community and economic development initiatives. So think, okay, well, that's nice, but what does that really mean? So we have 4 primary focus areas. One is real estate redevelopment, and for us, that means a focus on the commercial corridor. corridors. And at this point in time, we're really focused on Lemay Ferry Road. And really, the stretch of Lemay Ferry between River City Casino Boulevard and about Hofmeister. So what I like to call kind of old Lemay. Right? We're engaging in community building initiatives. So we have always had a strong relationship with the Chamber of Commerce, and historically have had a good relationship with the residents of the community. And we're looking to kind of reinvigorate that and strengthen that even further. Looking for opportunities to support business development and workforce development in the community as well. So thinking specifically about our real estate redevelopment activities and the Lemay Ferry corridor, we're really honing in on kind of the key node at Lemay Ferry and Bayless, and the southeast corner specifically. And this is a site that has been identified in the comprehensive plan, market analysis update, stuff that's been identified by others outside of just the Development Corporation as a site for redevelopment and for improvement. And what we're looking to do is redevelop that as a mixed-use project that includes about 10,000 square feet of commercial space and 40 affordable senior apartments. We know from looking at the data, from having other professionals and planners look at it, and just from our own experience, senior housing is a significant issue in this community. Affordable, quality senior housing. There's just a shortage of it. So we're looking to address that need. But also, there's a need for quality, affordable commercial space. We have a lot of obsolete commercial buildings along the Lemay Ferry corridor, and there are examples of businesses that we have lost who've moved out to other parts of the county because they don't have quality space to move into. So we're trying to rectify that and address some of those issues. That's kind of a big project that we're working on, and it's taking time to work through, but we're also looking at other opportunities. These are kind of smaller, what we call infill redevelopment opportunities along the Lemay Ferry corridor to kind of acquire, spruce up some nice commercial, create some nice commercial space. And one of the things that we're also looking to do is engage the local businesses who are looking to either relocate into Lemay, maybe looking for a new location in Lemay that's better quality building, maybe looking to expand. So if any of you are in that boat, or you know folks are in that boat, come talk to me and can let you know what we're doing and see if there's any synergies that could work together. All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you to the Lemay Development Corporation. Next, I would like to introduce Reggie Scott, with the Lemay Housing Partnership, our Executive Director. Thank you, Reggie.
Good afternoon. I want to make sure I'm all right. It's working the right direction. The Lemay Housing Partnership is our mission first is to enhance the quality of life for the residents of Lemay by providing both safe and decent housing in Lemay. We're established in May of 1998. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're a CHODO, which is a special designation we get from the federal government that entitles us to special funding consideration. We're comprised of board members from residents to local businesses and institutions. We serve low and moderate income households primarily. We serve all the residents of Lemay by improving overall housing values and conditions. And we serve businesses by helping to stabilize rooftops in the community and expanding housing options. Our impact to date has been significant over the years, 15 years. Investment of $1 million in existing homes via home repair, servicing over 200 low and moderate income households, investment of $3 million for new and rehabilitative housing in Lemay, and over 4,000 hours of assistance, volunteer assistance to homeowners and toward neighborhood beautification projects. And over 300 homeowners were impacted and potential buyers were impacted with our educational programs and counseling. We recently finished a business plan that came out of it with 3 lines of business: home repair, where we provide forgivable loans. You see some folks going at it on the rooftop there, to try to help stabilize properties. Development, which is more geared toward trying to really stabilize and sustain the community by introducing both rehab and new construction affordable homes. It's an example of one of our more recent rehabs and a newly constructed home just completed and sold. This is a sample of our counseling, which is our 3rd line of business toward home buyers and existing homeowners, just to help assist them with being great residents and homeowners. Our business goal is to initiate neighborhood development plan. That is a sort of subset of what the comprehensive plan for Lemay entails. Expand preservation of existing housing stock, and retention of homeowners while expanding a housing option and diversifying, attracting new residents. Diversify and increase our income stream so that we can be more sustainable, and strengthen our organizational capacity to be more engaged in the community and become housing, represented as housing leaders here. I played with that a while. Well, what LHP needs from the community? We need engagement, which means everybody out talking to us about what the needs are and helping us to move forward. We need information. We need folks to know, to tell us what's going on and what the issues are. We need outreach and marketing because we need help letting folks know we're here and the programming we provide, and referring folks to us and telling folks outside of Lemay about us. This is a great community for local support, but we also need outside. Financial support just to be sustainable. There's only so much county port money we can get from Jonathan and Beth and company, so we need others to help support us. We have an annual appeal, we have an annual fundraiser, a couple of them, and we need your help with that. And enforcement, we need everyone policing the community. We need everyone engaged in supporting and sustaining Lemay. Major upcoming events, we have a Tasting for Change, which is our major fundraiser. It's April 18th. Location is at River City Casino. It is, again, our primary fundraiser. Please join us for the event, and I want to say a special thank you to those who we've got some sponsorships in already, and we'd like to get more, so please, please help us. We need a little bit more help. This is a rehab we just completed at 900 Regina. It was a foreclosed property. It's 1,800 square feet, 4-bedroom, full basement, 2-car parking pad. We did improvements to the exterior, all new systems, kitchens, cabinets, appliances, flooring, 4 bedrooms again upstairs. We're headed that way. Just a second. That's one of the upstairs bedrooms. But it's a gorgeous house, again, and we're looking for a buyer. It's an affordable home, listed at $100,000. There are great incentives that come with the property through the county, and we need some help finding a good homeowner for it. Thank you in advance for all your support for Lemay Housing Partnership.
Thank you, Reggie. Just as a side note, I would encourage everyone who has not been to the YTSC event to go. It's a great time. Next, I want to introduce Elaine Powers, Executive Director for the Lemay Child and Family Center. Tell us a little bit more about their goals and how we can help them.
Use my notes, otherwise I could talk all afternoon. Thank you to the Chamber for giving us this opportunity to talk a little bit about what's going on at Lemay Child and Family Center. I think your State of Lemay address is a great idea, and we're glad to be part of it. I believe that many of you in the room are familiar with Lemay Child and Family Center. We've been in the community for nearly 40 years. We're currently located at the corner of South Broadway and Ripa, and we exist for the same reason now that we did when we started in the mid-1970s, and that is because there are families in this community who need access to high-quality early childhood education at an affordable price. And we've been providing that for a long time now. We're committed to continue doing that into the future, regardless, again, of family's financial situation or regardless of the child's developmental level. So, keeping in mind that this presentation is called The State of Lemay, I wanted to briefly point out that Lemay is in really good shape when it comes to early childhood education. And while I'll take some of the credit for that at Lemay Child and Family Center, there are others in the community that are providing important services as well. In addition to our program, Hancock Place School District offers a preschool program. Notre Dame operates a preschool program that unfortunately will be closing in the near future. But the YWCA also operates a Head Start preschool program on the campus of Notre Dame. And so that is a lot going on in a very small community in terms of really high quality care for kids. So when we talk about what's important in Lemay and what are things that we want to highlight in terms of advocating for this community, I would put what we do in terms of investing in young children right at the top of that list. You can see on this slide that at Lemay Child and Family Center, we bring a lot of credibility to our work, and we really strive on a daily basis to live out what all of these organizations that have invested in us expect of us to provide. We are the only one here in Lemay that offers infant toddler care as part of our programming, and we are also the only one that is open year-round. So again, like I said, I think that there are some things that really cause early childhood in this community to stand out. You'll see on the list I included that we are nationally accredited. The Lemay Head Start program is also nationally accredited. And if you go to the website for the National Association for the Education of Young Children, put in St. Louis and look at who is nationally accredited in the St. Louis area, there are 3 in South County. 2 of them are right here in Lemay, and I think that's a big deal. Our work is important. It's been proven time and time again that investing in early childhood education is good for communities, good for families, good for businesses. I have just a couple of statistics up here that every dollar invested in quality programs can save up to $12 in future costs. There's all kinds of reasons behind that. There's extensive research on that. And when we talk about strategies for developing community economic investment, this has been proven to make a huge difference. It's also good for families in child development. We talk about closing the gap of achievement for kids who may come from lower income homes or who bring other challenges. And we have the potential to make that difference, which has a long-term future impact for all of us. And it's also good for businesses. Reliable child care helps your employees get to work. Just a few facts about our center. Last year we had about 200 children that we served. We're open to anyone. There's no geographic or other barriers in terms of who can participate in our program. You will see on this slide that about 75% of the kids that we served last year come from 2 zip codes here in the South County area. The rest are spread out a little bit more. Going to the city, we've got some kids from Jefferson County, but very much focused on this local community in terms of who we serve. Most, but not all of our families tend to be lower income families, although again, we are open to anyone. And many of the children do face some of the challenges that require them to be in a high quality early childhood setting if we want to be investing in them for the future. So our board of directors recently did complete a visioning and strategic planning process. As part of that, we've identified a handful of key areas. Our key areas in terms of program and curriculum, the early intervention piece, which is really the heart of what we do, which is not only sustaining the programs that we offer, but also figuring out how do we develop them and how do we meet changing needs. And there is a huge need right now for continued investment in early childhood mental health, as well as continued demand for high quality infant toddler care. So those are a couple of areas we're focusing on. Partnering with parents is a really important piece of what we do at the center. We call it our Families First program. We have a variety of supports and programs in place to strengthen parenting and to work with families. And then our current campaign to raise dollars for our Outdoor Learning Center. We do have a challenge grant through the Port Authority's Community Reinvestment Fund, and we are continuing to raise dollars so that we can develop and build what you see in this picture here, which will greatly not only enhance our facility, but more importantly, enhance the curriculum and opportunities that we're able to provide for the children. Our plan also does include some internal goals, capacity building goals. We included these because we want to strengthen ourselves as a strong not-for-profit organization and be in this community. So we know we need to be investing in ourselves so that we continue to be a sustainable part of the network of services available here in the Lemay community. So there are ways that you can help with this. You can refer people to our programs. If you own a business with employees, we hope you would consider referring employees to us when they're struggling with finding reliable childcare. We also hope you would consider potentially partnering with us as offering childcare as an employee benefit. Ways to donate, join committees, volunteer. I put advocate on the list. Again, I said this before, but when you talk about what's right in Lemay, early childhood education is one of those things that's right in Lemay, and I think can be attractive for bringing others and new businesses into the area. And need to mention that we also have an upcoming event. It's our 6th annual Stand Up for Kids Comedy Night and Auction. It is March 15th at Royal Orleans. There are tickets available. We are still looking for some auction items. Megan Green is our development director. She's over here. Feel free to talk with Megan. You can also get more information about our organization as well as our event on our website, www.lemaychildandfamily.org. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Elaine. And I just want to make a side note. I've had the pleasure, thanks to Megan Green, of touring the facilities. And if you've never been by there, I would highly encourage you to do so. And I also had an observation for those of you that watched the address last night. President Obama said for every dollar we invest in education, earn $7 as a return. Well, this number here was $12. So as a financial planner, I would encourage you to invest in your local education because you get a much better return. So next I would like to introduce Carol DeGuire, Executive Co-Director to Feed My People. Here comes Carol.
Good afternoon. Feed My People was founded in 1982 by my husband John and myself, Carol, which started by just helping one family in need. And today we've grown to be one of the area's largest and longest serving food pantries and help centers in the whole St. Louis area. We have a new look now, and if I can get this to work. Do I go up or down? That's our new front here. And I have to apologize for the Johnny on the spot in the middle of this picture. It's kind of embarrassing, but that's, it's still there and they're still working on it. They're doing the finishing touches, so I thought that really set it off. Anyway, for those of you who have seen our old look, it's really quite a difference, and I think it really cleans up the community in our area. And like I said, they still have a few other things to do yet, so it's not totally complete. Okay. Last year we helped about 80,000 people alone, but in a variety of different ways, with food help being the largest program we provide. I don't know if any of you can even imagine what it's like to not be able to feed your family, to have to sometimes pick between buying food or keeping your heat on. That's a really tough decision that a lot of the families we help have to face. And I don't think a lot of us really realize what that really is like. But that's exactly what many of the people that come to us have to face. This is our help center, and we named it In His Care Help Center. And then our thrift store is now called the Thrifty Hanger. And so we wanted to kind of spruce up those names a little bit. I think a lot of times people have a stereotype vision of what it's like for somebody coming for help. They think maybe they're lazy, or maybe they're just not motivated, or not being very responsible. While there are some people who aren't able to work, or who are on disability or Social Security, many of those that come to us for help are actually working people. But these days, many working people are working at low-paying jobs, and they all have just all they could do to make ends meet. Many times, because of the recession, people have gotten laid off or lost their jobs through no fault of their own, and they're often embarrassed to come and have to be able to ask for help. So many times they just have to swallow their pride and do what they have to do to survive. Our interviewers always try to give people reassurance that hard times can happen to any of us, And they try to give people hope and encouragement, and also to let them know that somebody does care. A lot of times when people are down on their luck, they just about ready to give up, and I think our volunteers do a great job of trying to reach out to them. I think the thing that gets to me the most, even though I don't interview the clients on a daily basis, is when I see a grown man sitting there and he starts crying because he is so embarrassed that he's found himself in this situation. So you can only imagine what that must feel like. Be My People serves anyone coming to us for emergency food for the first time, regardless of what area they come from. However, if they come from real far away, we try to, we give them help, but then we try to refer them to something back in their own area. Because if they don't have much money for food, they don't have much gas money. That only makes sense. And then we also provide long-term help with food, distributing almost $4 million worth of food last year, and have also distributed $500,000 worth of government commodities. And we're one of only 3 agencies in the St. Louis area who have given out that much. With our biggest program being emergency food help in 2006, we helped, just to give you an example, for the last several years, we helped 35,000 of those people with food. Then in 2008, which was the start of the recession, that number jumped to 41,000. In 2010, it peaked at 56,000, and then last year it went down to 51,000, but that's still a whole lot of people that need food. Definitely not a luxury, but a daily necessity. Our basic service areas from the Mississippi River to Pacific at the Franklin County line. So we help not only St. Louis County, but also northwestern Jefferson County. So I don't know if everybody knows, because we're in Lemay here, but we actually have 2 locations, but the Lemay being our main office. In 1999, we took over an apartment complex right across the street from us of 48 units. And with the commitment to providing affordable housing for low-income working people. Be My People also provides over 25 other programs. And we're also involved in Energy Care, the Dollar More programs. We also have low-cost thrift stores at both our locations. Our stores are open to the public. The money we get from our stores helps pay for some of our expenses for being there. But our main goal for our thrift store is to be a service to our clients first and foremost. Our prices are very low. You can get a pair of jeans for $2, and we give our clients a discount card. They get 50% off. If they can't afford that, we give them a voucher and then get whatever they need at no cost. We operate only by 13 staff members, so we're spread pretty thin. So as many of you business people probably know, you wear a lot of hats. But we have approximately 300 volunteers between our 2 locations. And we couldn't do without our volunteers. They're the heart and the soul to Be My People. Just a few statistics. 45% of the people served are children and seniors. And there's just a little breakdown of, you know, a lot of people think, well, these people aren't doing nothing to help themselves. Only 10% have no income. We have a job counseling program. And last year, we 247 people completed job applications and have had at least 1 appointment with our job counselor. This is a background, a chart of their educational background, with the majority of those people at least completing their high school and GED program. This is the age of the applicants, which you can see the biggest majority is the group that is 45 to 54. And when you're in your 50s and approaching 60, it's pretty hard to go in and get a job Most people want to hire the younger people that they don't have to pay as much, and maybe part-time without benefits. Okay. The number of persons that were hired were 143. That's the purple there. So we do try to help people get back on their feet. And our job counseling program is really a pretty important program. But we help people not only with their daily needs, but we do want them to make a better life for themselves. The impact we have on the community is that we are able to help so many people have enough food to eat, something that is a necessity. We are also able to help people with many other programs that allow them to have a place to live and to be able to make it in life, maybe sometimes one day at a time. We try to educate our donors because many of them do not have any idea what the needs are or how to even begin to help these people. Some of the problems or issues our organization does address is to keep our clients from going hungry and to help them in many other ways so they're able to get back on their feet. Many times, and then when they do get back on their feet, it's really neat when we have somebody come in, turn around and want to do something to help somebody else. Some of the challenges we face is having enough funding to be able to do this. Even though we handle the government commodities, we're not government funded in any way. So we do rely on the support of the community, whether it be individual donations, churches, businesses, community civic organizations, or individual people who care about what happens to the people in need in our community. What we're working on now is to reach out even more than ever to the community to explain all the different things we provide for people and what help we need and how this can impact our community. We're also trying to do a better job for our clients by seeing what other ways we can do to be of help to them. We're also trying to build partnerships between ourselves and other community organizations that reach out to people and build relationships between all of us and the business community. One of the things that we need is to succeed is to be able to have enough funds to do so. And not only at Christmas time, but every day of the year. It's really amazing. We get a lot of donations at Christmas, and come summer, people forget about the poor and they're all thinking about vacation. But the people who need help need it every day of the year. And there's many ways you can help, whether it be making a cash donation on a regular basis, that monthly support, a food drive in your place of business, which I know many of you did during the holidays. That's great. I'm not undercutting the holidays, but if you want to do it on a regular basis, that would really help feed my people. Maybe volunteering your time, talents, or sponsoring and especially supporting our fundraisers. And we have a lot of them coming up, which I'm not going to go into today. Some of our goals are to expand our building on the inside so we can expand our services to better serve our clients and to help more people. Last year we formed a foundation board, and actually Jan Orlando's on our foundation board. We're small, but we're just getting started, and that's going to help us grow. We're always looking for new members, by the way, if anybody's interested in the work we do. Feed My People is a Christian interdenominational help center showing God's love and compassion for His people in need. Hand in hand, the dream continues. That's all of us reaching out and helping each other, especially those who need our help the most. Our hands in God's hands, God's love that flows through each of us and out into the world. The dream continues, our Father's dream for all of us, His children of peace, happiness, prosperity, loving, and being loved. The dream that each of us have for our own children and magnified millions of times greater. That's what God dreams for each of us. Feed My People, with your help, is one instrument of that dream. We are a big part of the community here because we feel we really do make a difference in this community and in the lives of so many. And we also give people hope for a brighter future, which would not only make this, which would also make this community an even better place to live. And I just want to let everybody know that we're going to be having a ribbon cutting and grand opening, and I promise that Johnny on the spot will be out of there. And that's going to be on May 5th, and we'd like to invite you all down to attend that so you can even see firsthand and learn more about Be My People. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Next, I want to introduce Pamela Guest, with the who is the Center Administrator for the Mid-East Area on Aging South County Senior Center. Pamela.
Thank you so much. This is quite an honor. I want to thank the Chamber for this opportunity. Hi, everybody. Let's get started here. A real quick history on our agency, Mid-East Area Agency on Aging, or better known as MEAAA. We are one of 10 aging agencies in the state of Missouri, and we've been serving people age 60 plus since 1973. Probably a lot of you will remember us as the Lemay Senior Center. We did begin in 1975, working out of the concession building at the Heine Miney Ball Fields. Of course, that was before my time. In the mid-'80s, the center moved into the then vacant Hancock Grade School cafeteria building on Gentry. And then in 2001, due to very large reduction in funding, we had to combine our Melville Senior Center with the Lemay Center at the Gentry location. We changed the name to South County to make it an easier adjustment for our participants, as well as broaden awareness of our center's Meals on Wheels and transportation service area, which now included all of Melville, all of Oakville, and in addition to the Lemay area. In 2011, we were awarded a grant by the St. Louis County Port Authority, making it possible to purchase our current location at 225 Lemay Ferry. Coincidentally, just a few feet from the Heine Miney Ball Fields where we originated. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. Hope you don't mind, but I'd like to ask you all a few questions. And don't have to answer, but please give these questions some serious thought. I'd like you to really think hard about your answers. How many of you today were able to get out of bed this morning with little to no difficulty, no physical pain? You were able to make yourself some coffee and breakfast, and then you got in your car and drove off to wherever it is you needed to go. And then tonight on your way home, are you going to run an errand or stop by the grocery store? And then when you get home, you'll probably fix dinner and have dinner with your family. And then how about for the weekend? What's going on? Are you going to go to a friend's house, maybe out for dinner, catch a movie? So keeping those answers in mind, I want you to picture somebody that you know who is nearing the age of 70. And maybe they have some health conditions, perhaps your parents or your grandparents. Well, for them, getting out of bed can be a little difficult, even painful. Getting dressed is a chore, much less making coffee or breakfast. Driving a car is probably out of the question, and they can't afford a taxi. Getting to the grocery store, the doctor's office, the bank, or anywhere else they need to go, much less want to go, has become more difficult and if not impossible without the help of someone else. They're probably too proud to ask you for help because they know that you have your own busy life. Perhaps they're widowed and living alone, so cooking for one seems like a bit of a waste of time, so they eat a sandwich or open a can of soup. Picking up the phone to call old friends, well, that's kind of become a memory because a lot of their friends have passed away or perhaps they're in a nursing home now. It's no wonder depression in the elderly is on the rise. But what if your mom or granddad had a special place to go just for people their age? so they wouldn't feel trapped home alone all day. This place could provide transportation, and when they arrived, they could have a cup of hot coffee and a pastry from their local favorite bakery. Randy. They could socialize and make new friends. They'd enjoy activities and entertainment. They could exercise and get free health screenings. A place where they could volunteer because it feels good to be needed and useful. How great would it be if this place offered nourishing home-style meals and no one would have to eat alone? And to top it off, wouldn't it be amazing if this place provided all of these wonderful things on a contribution basis? Well, folks, that's what a senior center is all about. That is who we are. We're the perfect hangout for the 60-plus crowd. So now you ask, okay, well, what if my mom or my grandpa is recovering from a stay in the hospital or is just in too frail a condition to come to the center? Well, I don't want you to stress, because our center provides Meals on Wheels. One of our very dedicated, friendly volunteers will deliver a hot, nutritionally balanced meal to your family's home. Our volunteers will check on them, chat with them, and before you know it, they'll have made a new friend that they can look forward to seeing every day. Senior centers are intended to assist older adults in remaining independent and healthy, so they can live on their own, in their own home, out of expensive nursing homes, because we want our elders to truly enjoy their golden years. Our new location grants us the opportunity to be a true multi-purpose senior center. We offer that comfortable gathering place with a variety of activities and entertainment. We have an exercise room now with classes. We can provide educational opportunities, health screenings, hot nutritionally balanced meals, including those Meals on Wheels, and transportation. We even have a pool table and a disco ball, for crying out loud. We have a number of volunteer opportunities, and we are always in need of delivery volunteers for our Meals on Wheels program. One volunteer program that I'm very proud of is my Students Supporting Seniors. This intergenerational program enlists the help of students from local school districts. Another special service unique to our center is our senior shop. We have an assortment of donated non-perishable foods, personal care products, and cleaning supplies. I can provide a gift box with up to 3 months worth of items to a needy senior. These items free up money that can be used for other groceries, medicines, or other expenses. And now, thanks to Castle, we have 2 garden beds that our seniors are looking forward to tending in the spring and summer. So what do your golden years look like? Do you have someone in your life that you know without a shadow of a doubt would and could help you as you age? And don't count on your financial state to match your physical state as you age. Did you know that statistics show boomers aged 60 to 69 have the highest risk of senior hunger? Approximately 50% of all health conditions impacting folks aged 60 and older are directly related to a lack of nutrition. That means you cannot survive on a can of soup, cereal, or a sandwich. Meals from our center are planned by a registered dietitian, so they are nutritionally balanced. The cost of supplying a senior with 1 year of home-delivered meals is roughly equal to the cost of a 1-day stay in the hospital. 1 meal per day, 5 meals per week from our senior center can help a senior remain in their own home, out of a nursing home, and lessen the burden put on our state's Medicaid program. I am very proud to tell you that in 2012, our center provided 27,632 meals. Our meals and center were enjoyed by your parents, your grandparents, your customers. Our services and programs help them to remain a productive part of this community. Every day, more people reach seniorhood, and it's a dangerous misconception to think that everyone has someone, either a friend or a family member, who looks after them and helps out if needed. It's also a misconception to believe that just because your grandma gets her hair done once a week and enjoys coming to your house for the holidays, she must be fixing herself a decent meal every day and able to sufficiently take care of herself, her home, and keep her laundry done. Every day the need for our services increase. In order to meet those needs, we face the challenge of stretching our funds further and further as costs continue to rise. Our suggested meal contribution is only $3.25. That's actually less than half of what it costs us to produce that meal, yet the average contribution we receive from a participant is less than $1. Now we're facing another cut in our nutrition budget. This could mean less meals, a reduction in staff hours or positions, closing centers earlier, but the scariest part of all, weekly frozen meals are going to have to replace the daily hot meals for our homebound. We've been in Lemay now almost 40 years, and we can finally offer our elders everything they so rightly deserve. We have more than tripled our space, increased services, programs, and meals. So many seniors tell me how the center has changed their lives, even saved their life. They depend on us. We are committed to accomplishing our mission, which is to assist adults through the journey of aging. That journey should not be so difficult for either of us. How can you help? Well, this is what you can do so no senior goes hungry. Spread the word. My priority is to reach as many seniors as possible. So spread the word. Do you know somebody who would enjoy getting out and coming to our center, or do you know somebody that could benefit from receiving home delivered meals? Volunteer. Your time is a fabulous way to make a contribution. We need volunteers Monday through Friday to deliver meals to our area homebound. You can volunteer 1 or more days per week or month. Be a corporate volunteer and adopt a route. Your employees take turns delivering meals 1 day a week, 4 days per month. Donate. Obviously, like every nonprofit organization, we need your financial support. Your gift of just $66 would help provide meals to 1 senior for a whole month. The larger your donation, the more meals we can provide. The more seniors you will help. Sponsor. You could be a sponsor for a day, a week, or a month. You'll help feed our seniors and promote your business at the same time. We currently have a table tent in our cafe area that tells everyone our pastries and donuts that they're enjoying every morning with their coffee are provided by MacArthur's Bakery and the Lemay Donut Stop. And that's a donation, so thank you, Randy and Lemay Donut Stop. And then check and chat. We always say, Harold, call your mother. Well, we want you to regularly call your elderly family members or friends. Check in on them. Drop them a card, take them out for breakfast or shopping, pick up their medicine or grocery shop for them. And most importantly, please be somebody's emergency contact. Exchange telephone numbers with them, and in case of a weather-related emergency, that senior knows you will call on them within the hour to make sure they're safe. If they can't get to their phone, they know you'll come to them. Always have an emergency preparedness plan for any emergency situation. I'd like to thank you all for your time and your support, and I ask that you come and visit the center at any time, because we would love to see you, and I know the seniors would love to show you their beautiful new home. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam. Last but not least, we would like to introduce Doug Eller, the Resource Development Coordinator for CASTLE, the Community Action Agency of St. Louis County. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to be here today. So our mission is to end poverty, so it's a pretty big job, so we're going to need everyone here to help us out. We have a unique tripartite board where a third of our governing board of directors are actually low-income people or people that serve low-income that help guide the agency, and so that really helps us keep in touch with the community. Here's some of the social context of poverty, and notice that one of the things I'll point out is that 45% of the county renters pay more than 30% of income in rent, and sometimes that's because they're so poor, but sometimes they could be working people and they're just paying a lot of rent. And this, instead of that, they could actually become homeowners. And so that's one of the things we really promote at Community Action Agency of St. Louis County, or better known as CASEL, is for people to move into home ownership. And we have first-time home buyer incentives, paying down payments, paying for the closing costs, doing education with people on how to buy a home, get that right loan, and what to look for. We go with them when they do the inspection of the home. So we're an extremely valuable resource for people wanting to buy homes. Here you'll see that we have some of the people that we serve. We have kind of two general classifications of people. People that are coming to us because they want to do some self-improvement, and that's kind of the statistics you see here. And then we have other people that are coming to us to live better, and we provide energy assistance, for instance, and help people really do some basic maintenance, what they need. We have a food pantry. This May, starting May, we will be taking applications for seniors and disabled people to help pay for their energy costs. You can remember last summer how high the temperatures got and how expensive the utilities were, so we're going to be able to help with that starting in May. So I'll put that down on the calendar as you run across people. I'm sure Pam will make a note of that. Some of the participants' strengths. So not everybody's really very low. A lot of people are kind of casualties of the last recession that we're kind of winding up, hopefully. So we have 42% are actually working or are receiving unemployment compensation benefits because they were just working, and 27% own their own home. So here's some of the needs that people have identified that they really need some assistance with. Budgeting, financial education, we do that. Assistance with work goals, we have an employment program. And weatherization of the home, and I want to speak a minute about that. We provide weatherization in people's homes, so it's a lot more than just putting plastic over windows. It's doing a complete energy audit in the home. We can replace the furnace, do insulation. It can be quite extensive when we do it both for renters as well as homeowners. So if you know landlords, you might have them get a hold of CASEL and see if they can be part of this program. Here's some of the other things that we provide, and I'll point out, besides homebuyer education, energy conservation workshops, we also do poverty simulations. So if you have a group of people or a business that want to understand more about the nature of low-income people, as we've heard today quite a bit about, we can actually set up so your employees can go through a simulation of being poor, and they have to work their way through the bureaucracy and just in order to receive very basic maintenance kind of benefits. It's very much of an eye-opener. Here's some of the other special grants we have. We do some home repair. A lot of time we'll go into the home, and we can't do the weatherization because the home is in such poor repair. So we want to get it up to code first, and then we can go in and do the weatherization part of it. And Pam mentioned about the community gardens. We also are starting some farms where it's bigger plots of land that we're able to bring fresh produce in areas that just really don't have that. Here's some of our outcomes that we have, and you'll be getting a copy of all this. I'm not going to go through these two things. And here's some of the issues that we have for low-income families that they've been identified. Employment, payday loan reform. We really got to get people in the banked systems and not payday loans. And the Medicaid expansion, you've heard quite a bit about that as well. So that's the end of my presentation. I do have flyers over here on the table and business cards too if you want more information. Thanks.
Thank you, Doug. I want to thank everybody out there too for sticking around. We understand that we went a little bit over time, so we apologize, and again, thank you for your patience. I want to thank everybody, all our presenters today. We all, I hope, learned a lot, and if there's opportunities for you to get involved and help, I know they would be greatly thankful of that help. I don't want to remind you, don't forget that part 2 of the State of Lemay address will be Wednesday, March 13th at Royal Orleans. We'll get updates from the County Councilman Steve Stanger, St. Louis County Economic Council, St. Louis County Police, the 4th Precinct, Lemay Fire Protection District, Hancock Place School District, Belleville School District, Notre Dame High School, and we hope to see you all there. Thank you.